Well, I'm sorry if the audio sounds weird. I like filmed the whole video. It was like 10, 15 minutes and my shit just crashed. So I'm using like my old camera with the microphone plugged into it. Hopefully it sounds okay. I have like podcast stuff that I'm gonna try and figure out how to set up later. That's not really a now project. But on the bright side, I know what I'm gonna talk about. So I guess we'll start with how today was predictable and why we didn't bounce off the 167 target I outlined. So I actually already have it labeled on screen here. Instead of it being a typical ABC correction, I see it as a WXY. Now, this doesn't really necessarily mean anything. When you hear WXY, think triple zigzag. I'm going to put two pictures on screen right now. One of a typical zigzag correction and one of a WXY correction. You can kind of see the difference in the subdivision of the waves, like how they're formed, and now I'm going to show you why I think this was WXY instead of an ABC. So WXY, triple zigzag, right? We had our first move down, a move up, move down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So we'd expect that the move down, or the two moves down, to be equal to each other in each scenario, right? So first one, right, 1-to-1 to the tick at 177. There's your W wave. Again, right, up, down, up, 1-to-1, parity, Y wave. And then, it's labeled as a W. I don't know what's going on earlier, but WXY. And, okay, so I showed you this one, and last but not least, down, up, and we'd expect 1-to-1, and boom, right there, right? And I think it was this chart, yeah. So this one with the box I have shown there, these are like your bounce candidates, and voila, poetic, to the tick. So I was fortunate enough to, I think I bought a little bit there, and I was waiting for 163. We broke 170, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna dump the rest in, and then obviously that happened. Right, okay, so from here, I'm going to talk, I guess, possibilities into tomorrow really quickly. This is kind of annoying, so I just did this, but bear with me. So, I'm going to show the bullish interpretation and the bearish interpretation. First of all, bullish, let's pull up a 1 minute. I'm going to go to a chart with no fib levels on it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so bear case first. From the low here, you could, I say bearish, but it would just be the wave 2 correction before exploding into the wave 3. And, keep in mind that this analysis on this small of a scale is, I don't want to say useless, but, kind of useless. No one really cares, but I'm going to show you anyways. So, looking at it like this way, 1 up, 2 down, 3 rejecting the 1382, 4 coming down to here, stays above the high of wave 1, so it's a valid setup, and this would be the wave 5 up to here. So, if that's the high, taking the really simple approach first, then we'd expect to, hit 174-ish on the higher side, and, 170, yeah, like 170 is on the lower end. And if we see that and we bounce, then, load the boat. Not financial advice, but that would, in theory, that marks the low of the wave 2 before exploding into the, 3. But digging a little bit deeper, let's say this whole move down is just the A wave, assuming we bottomed here. Again, this is why I say this is kind of pointless, because if it opens below, where we closed today, then this whole analysis is pointless. But what can you do? Assuming this is the low here, we would expect to retrace up to like 180 to 184-ish, reject there, and then the move down would gain parity with this move right here. So you measure the move down, A down, to the high of B, let's just say 181, because that's most common, let's just assume that. Now, we would expect to find a low at 171.6, right? So you A down, B up, C down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This makes a wave 1, A, B, C into 2, and from there, boom. But yeah, that's the bear case. So let's draw your attention over to the bull case now. Bullish case is, it's not too much different, but same idea, right? Wave 1, wave 2. But in this interpretation, this whole move right here is a wave 3, which honestly, it makes a little bit more sense to me just because, the move was bigger. But I'll put on my other fib levels. Blew through the 236 or the 2618, and next level came to 3236, and crazy, right? Look at that. Level it gave me 185.24, 185.45. So rejected it within what, 21 cents. Okay, yeah. So with that in mind, so 1, 2, 3, 4. As long as we don't break below this high at 172.25, then we can expect one more leg up within this sequence. So that would put tomorrow's high-end targets at 186.85 on the lower end and let's just say 190 on the higher end. So let's say, you know, we're really green in pre-market. We start to run. First of all, don't FOMO into options, because I will happily sell you options that are going to expire worthless. But what was I saying? If we do, like, let's say they open the floodgates and it's off to the races. Everyone's like, oh my god, it's happening. I need to buy all the call options I can. I'm willing to bet money it'll reject one of these levels, and that would form the wave 1 of a bullish sequence, and from there we would expect to sell off pretty hard. So let's just assume we top at 190, then we would expect to, you know, come down to 175-ish, most common, 170 on the lower end, and then from there, that's where we really start to explode. You know, I'll do an analysis on that when we get there. I'm just foreshadowing stuff that doesn't really matter, but now I'm going to talk about larger end targets. So assuming the low is in today, which it's pretty promising. Remember, nothing is ever guaranteed, but it is a pretty promising bounce. Let's just say we measure the low of 1, alright, low 1 to the high of 1 to the low of 2, assuming this is the low of 2. Nothing is ever 100%, but let's just assume, right? Pretty convincing bounce at the level that I outlined earlier. It gives me conviction. That would put this wave 3's target at 306.65. 1618 is most common multiple for wave 3. But, you know, if it replicates similar fashion of this move right here, this is a wave 3 as well, then we would expect, did I not put on the 2618? Idiot. 2618 at 393.09. And obviously, you know, when this is going on, I'll be, you know, tweeting about it. I love going crazy on Twitter, but I'm doing hand motions right now. I don't know why you can't see me. But yeah, those would be the levels to look out for. If we do break to the downside, you know, if this was all just a fake out, which, you know, again, it's possible, you never know. I think it's really unlikely though, because today's high was actually, we crossed above the first low point of the supposed first leg down of the WXY. So that makes me think, like, that's a convincing thing to see in wave terminology. For example, you know, if we peak today at like 184, then I'd say the possibility of downside is more likely. But just based off this, you know, I don't know, man. It doesn't look like we're due for more downside. Again, I don't know. I'm just forecasting, but that's what makes sense to me. I think I've covered everything. Possibilities going into tomorrow, how today was predictable. Hopefully you bought the dip. I am super jacked. Tomorrow I think will be exciting out the gate, but people are going to get crushed buying options. This, like, overhead resistance, we need to clear, what is it, like 198-ish? I mean, it converges as the days go on, but tomorrow comes out to like 198, 199. So watch that as a resistance level as well. If we break above that, oh boy, it's on. But yeah, I think that about covers it. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna shut up. Peace. Let's go.